A long time ago, there was a man. There was a man, and this man was he was a very stubborn man. He had very strong will. He never changed his mind. He never gave in. He was a pig-headed man. Pig-headed. He was a pig-headed man. He was a pig-headed fellow. Fellow means a man. Okay. Now, there was a woman in the same town. There was a woman. This woman was as pig-headed as he was. She was mule-headed. Mule-headed woman. She was also a very stubborn woman. Now, these two are very strong, has very strong will, and they never changed their mind, and they were very stubborn, stone-headed, or pig-headed, or mule-headed people. But when they met at a party, somehow they managed to fall in love with each other. They managed. I don't know how they did it, but they liked each other. So they fell in love with each other. And so they got married. They went to the church and they got married, and they had a beautiful reception, the party afterwards. Now, they had a party and they had a very nice grand feast, a lot of food, the grand feast, lots of great food and great wine and great sweets and music, and lots of friends came, and they had a wonderful party at their house. Okay, they had a beautiful home and together, and they had this beautiful party together all day long. Now, the relatives came, their friends came, and everybody came, and this is their house, and everybody, one by one, towards the middle of the night, towards the midnight, 12 o'clock midnight, they began to go home. They said, "Thank you very much for this wonderful party, and I wish you luck and many happy days and congratulations." And people said nice things to this couple, and they, one by one, they left. Okay. But when the last guest left, they left the door open. They left the door open. They forgot to shut the door all the way to the whatever. They didn't shut the door tightly enough, and so these two people said thank you, bye bye, and they were just ready to sit down. Okay, they had a beautiful chair. And they were ready to sit down, and then they sat down, and they were ready to take their shoes off, and because they were so exhausted. They were so tired, exhausted. They were so tired from going to church in the morning and entertaining friends and dancing and singing and eating and playing, and so they were just so exhausted from all these things. And when they were just, they sat down and they were just getting ready to relax, the husband noticed the wind was coming in from the open door. There was a draft, breeze, the wind. So he said to his wife, "Honey, I feel a draft. Would you mind going to the door and shut the door?" He said, "Would you mind shutting the door? I feel a draft." Then she said, "Why should I?" She said. She said, "I have been working all day today. I've been serving people. I've been talking to people. I've been entertaining people. I am tired." She said, "Why don't you go and do it? Why do I have to do it?" She said. And she said, "I'm tired." And she went, "Oh," she yawned. Okay? And then the man said, "What?" He said. "Is it going to be like this from now on?" He said. He said, "So that's the way it is going to be?" He said. He said, "Now that you got a ring, wedding ring, now that you got a ring on your finger, is it going to be like this from now on? Now that you got me as your husband, now that you married me, now that I married you, are you going to be like this?" He said it very angrily. He snapped it. Snap means lose control and say something very carelessly. So he said, "Is it going to be like this?" And he snapped. Okay? And he said, "Now that you've got this ring, now that you got me as your husband, are you going to be lazy? And are you going to be good for nothing?" Lazy. Yeah? Good for nothing. "You're not going to be good or nothing person from now on?" He said. Good for nothing means useless. Are you going to be lazy and useless, wife? He said, he snapped at the new wife. Well, she was not happy to hear that, and so she said, "How dare you?" she said. "How dare you say things like that?" she said. "We have not been even married a day." Okay? Well, we have not been married at one day yet. But you are already telling me, or you are already calling me names. You're calling me lazy. You're calling me good for nothing. You are calling me names already. And you are going to order me around. You tell me to go and shut the door. Are you going to tell me to do this and do this and do this from now on? She said to him. Then he said, "You are complaining," he said. "You are grumbling and complaining. Are you going to do this forever?" he said to her. And she said, "What do you mean?" And so she was angry, and so she looked at him very angrily. She glared. Glare means to stare at, look at somebody very intensely and angrily is glare. She glared at him, and he glared at her, and they were very silent. She said, "I'm not going to do it." And he said, "I'm not going to do it." He said, "You go shut the door." She said, "You go shut the door." And they did not give in because these two people were stubborn people. He was pig-headed and she was mule-headed. So they sat there together without saying anything, glaring at each other. Then the woman had an idea. One idea popped into her head, and she said, "I have an idea," she said. "Why don't we look at each other for as long as we can, and the first person who says something, the first person who's utter a word will lose the contest and go and shut the door. Let's have this contest. We'll look at each other, and the first person who says anything will lose the contest and go and shut the door." He said, "That is a wonderful idea. The best thing I've heard for all night today," he said. And so they began to sit. They began this contest, and they sat down face to face, and without saying anything. And these people were sitting together without saying anything and looking at each other. Okay? I don't know how long it passed. Maybe for 2 hours or so later, two men walked by. Two men walked by, and these were bad people. These were thieves. Okay, thieves. Okay, one thief, two thieves. These were thieves. Thieves means they steal things. Okay, they came and they looked in, and they thought, "Wow, this house, it's got lots of nice things in there. Television, computer, beautiful paintings, and nice carpet, and a chair, and a sofa, and coffee table. And there are two wax figure dolls." They didn't think these two people were real people. They thought these were wax doll, or the not people, real humans, but these were the figures made out of wax. And so they came in because these people are not looking. These people are not talking. These people are not moving, and so they thought these were just things that are there, not people. So they came in and they began to steal everything. They stole a computer, they stole a television set, they stole the paintings, they stole the carpet, they stole the chairs, they stole the dining table, they stole the coffee table, they stole the sofa and everything. In fact, these people even came and stole the woman's wedding ring. Now, the woman was looking at the new husband and thinking, why is he not saying anything? Why is he not doing anything? But she was so stubborn, so she didn't say anything. And the man was thinking about the same thing. Why isn't she saying anything? Why is she not stopping these people? But he was so stubborn, mule-headed, pig-headed, he didn't say anything. And so the two thieves stole everything and they left. Okay? Now, at dawn, like the sun was coming up, okay, a policeman came. The policeman came and he looked in and he said, "Hey people, what's going on?" he said. And so the policeman came in and he looked at the people, these people, and he said, "What are you guys doing?" The policeman said. "And say something. What are you guys doing?" he said to these people. But these people were so stubborn, they didn't say anything. And so the policeman, he raised his hand. He said, "If you don't say anything, I'm going to slap you. I'm going to hit you. Okay? I'm going to hit you if you don't say anything," he said, the policeman said. And then the woman, all of a sudden, she said, "Don't you dare," she said. "That's my new husband. Don't you dare touch my husband," she said. "Don't you dare lay a finger on my new husband," she said to the policeman. And then the man, he said, "Ha," he said, "I won. I won. You spoke first. Now," he said, "go and shut the door." The end.